What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA, and man, sometimes good news just comes to those who wait. Man of Steel 2 is reportedly in development with Henry Cavill. Man, if you are a Superman fan like I am, and like a lot of us out there are, we have been absolutely waiting for this day for years and years and years. All the speculation, is he going to pop up as a post-credit scene in this movie, that movie? Hey, how come they just didn't use him in Shazam? How come they didn't show him in Peacemaker? All of that kind of stuff, right? Finally, we get what we want, okay? We get something that's good for the fans. The Rock, thank you, Rock. He said it. We listened to the fans. That's how you're supposed to do it, Rock. You did a great job, buddy. Keep it up, okay? So now we get to do a little bit of speculation. This is the fun part about, having a love for comic book films, having a love for all this stuff. All of this negativity, everybody in Hollywood doing something woke and crappy and shitty. We actually get to sit back and say, all right, who will be the director for this particular film? Man of Steel 2 is reportedly in development with Henry Cavill. After almost 10 years, the high-flying sequel is currently looking for a writer. Now, I'm going to talk about directors because there's 5 guys, and again, it's just speculation. I don't have any insight into any of this stuff, but it's just fun to speculate and see, hey, who would I like to see as a Man of Steel director, okay? Or Man of Steel 2, I should say. Let's go ahead and jump into my 5 directors. Now, if you guys have a different 5, if you have opinions on what I'm saying, you can go ahead and leave that in the comments below as we go through it. But yeah, let's go ahead and go through my list. Won't take very long. And first up on my list is my guy, Christopher McCrory. Now, Christopher McCrory, you guys are very aware of him. He has been the director over these last few Mission Impossible films with Tom Cruise. All right. So you know what kind of filmmaker he is just from that alone. But he's also a very good writer. His very first film that he wrote, which was The Usual Suspects, won an Academy Award. He's been a part of several big name movies, including Top Gun Maverick. He actually wrote the script for Top Gun Maverick just a little bit ago. So this guy knows his way around Hollywood. This guy has some serious directing chops as well. Let's go ahead and just take a quick peek at his IMDb. All right, so there's old Christopher McCrory, and you can see his writing chops right there. He's working on currently the new Tom Cruise SpaceX project. Of course, writing the Mission Impossible films. Like I said, Top Gun Maverick, Mission Impossible Fallout. Actually wrote that Mummy screenplay, interesting enough. He wrote The Edge of Tomorrow, Jack the Giant Slayer, of course. And then if you check out his director credits, he's no shortage of great films in this. The Way of the Gun. I actually love The Way of the Gun. One of the better action films out there. Jack Reacher, and then of course the Mission Impossible films. So would he come on with all of the work that Tom Cruise keeps giving this guy? Would he come on and direct? Only time will tell. Let's go ahead and check out my next director. And the next guy on my list is a guy many of you guys may or may not know, Mike Flanagan. Now, Mike Flanagan has been doing a lot of work with Netflix lately, okay? He's doing those kind of short series, The Haunting of Bly Manor, The Haunting of Hill House. But where I really liked was his work in Dr. Sleep. I actually thought Dr. Sleep was a really well-directed movie, okay? He's definitely got his chops in the horror genre. This guy is doing a lot of work. I think he's still working on something right now. Fall of the House of Usher, I believe, at present. So this guy knows his way around the horror genre. So why would I choose him? Well, I've noticed that a lot of horror directors have really made that transition from horror to comic book films, and they've done an amazing job, okay? I mean, we're talking about David F. Sandberg, okay, who has his roots in horror, but then he moves over and he does a great Shazam film. I thought Shazam was pretty cool. You have Scott Derrickson, Scott Derrickson's another guy. He directed some horror films, and then he came over and did Doctor Strange, okay? And then you have, of course, my guy, Sam Raimi, right? Sam Raimi, possibly my favorite director of all time, right next to Quentin Tarantino, one of the greatest directors ever, in my opinion. And you can see his work. He started out in the horror genre, but look what he did with Spider-Man. I don't know what it is about horror moving over to comic books, but there seems to be some kind of a connection where these guys really do a great job when they get over to the comic book side. James Wan is another guy, right? James Wan definitely started in horror, and now where is he at? He's over here directing Aquaman, great Aquaman movie, coming back doing another sequel. So I think there is something to be said for horror guys stepping over into the comic book genre. Let's go ahead and check out his IMDb. And there you go. You got Mike Flanagan, okay? His directing credits right there. Like I said, he's working on some Netflix stuff. Most of this stuff is all Netflix, right? Fall of the House of Usher. Midnight Club, Midnight Mass, Haunting of Bly Manor, and then of course that Doctor Sleep film that I was telling you about, Haunting of Hill House. He also directed Old Ouija, The Origin of Evil. That film actually is better than the original. Did a great job with that. Oculus, another great horror film. So I think that this guy, if they give him the opportunity, might be a little different. Folks might not be able to understand it, but I think that I would love to see his take in the superhero genre. And hey, Superman is just as good a place as any. All right, let's get on to the next guy. Now, this guy is obvious for a lot of folks. They expected this to be up there, right? Matt Vaughn, okay? This guy has been wanting to make a Superman film, okay? And he definitely has his roots in comic book films, okay? Talking about Kick-Ass, all right? You're talking about X-Men First Class, all right? And then he's, of course, been working on the Kingsman series, you know, doing a great job there. And he actually wants to make a Superman film. That's the thing about it. You want guys that want to make these films because they always have a really good, like, kind of idea of what they would do with the character. They've been dreaming about for years and years and years. Matt Vaughn is that guy, okay? If you want somebody that's been dreaming up, laying on the back of his bed, just kind of thinking like, man, what would I do with a Superman film if I ever got the chance? If you want somebody like that, that's this guy right here, Matt Vaughn. Let's go ahead and check out his IMDb. Yeah, so you can see his directing credits, of course. Stardust, another like solid movie. A lot of people are weird with Stardust. Stardust was okay, all right. Kick-Ass, again, the Kingsman series. He's been working on all of those. Currently working on Argyle and I think Courage. I'm not sure what that is. But nevertheless, this guy has some great credits to his name. And then you go to his writing credits. He's been writing everything that he makes. So, okay, this guy is definitely tied in script and story by himself. And then he also directs. So expect big things from this guy if he does get the opportunity. Because like I said, he actually at one point in time had a pitch for a colorful, fun Superman movie. Okay, so if he does get the opportunity to direct it, this is what you can expect. Something fun, something colorful. Hey, there's all kinds of different Superman films. Nobody's saying anything about the way that Zack Snyder presented that, because I liked Man of Steel. I love Man of Steel. I think that's a great film. Probably the best still in the DCEU next to Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad. But yeah, I think that Matt Vaughn would be an awesome choice if they decided to go in that direction. All right, let's move on. Now, if you know me, you know that I love this man and his work. Guillermo Del Toro, again, another guy that has some history with comic book films. You're talking about Blade 2. You're talking about the Hellboy series, okay? Guillermo Del Toro, one of the great auteurs in Hollywood, if you want to talk about that. And I think if you gave this guy an opportunity to really write and direct a solid Superman film, he'd blow it out of the water. Now, this guy has always said, hey, I'm not interested in doing anything on that level. I think you could talk to him a little bit and say, come on, Guillermo, you know, you really want to do that Superman film, don't you? Come on through. I think Guillermo Del Toro would be an interesting choice. Again, another guy that has his roots in horror. He understands horror a lot. He understands really just filmmaking, okay? It would be a well-crafted film, well-written, well-crafted film. Would it win awards? Would it be the biggest thing in the world? Who knows? But I think Guillermo Del Toro would do an amazing job if he was given a chance. So let's go ahead and check out his IMDb. Of course, there we go, GDT's. His IMDb is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, you talk about some of the great, look at all the stuff that he's done in terms of post-production. Look at all the stuff he's done in terms of his writing credits, right? You know, this guy is a prolific writer. You know, he just writes all kinds of different, Troll Hunters. I like Troll Hunters. I thought Troll Hunters was solid. Nightmare Alley. You know, he did the Pinocchio. We still have yet to see how that's going to turn out. All right. I mean, but this guy is just a prolific writer. You know, look how much stuff he's writing. 26 episodes of 33 Below. Tales of Arcadia, the Troll Hunters series. Okay, he's done a ton of work with that. The Strain. He wrote Shape of Water, Crimson Peak. He wrote the screenplay to The Hobbit. He wrote Pacific Rim. Just look at all of this work that this man has done. Okay, he's a great screenwriter. He's also done a great job with his directing. Let's take a look at that real quick. His directing credits, amazing as well. You know, Shape of Water, Crimson Peak, Pacific Rim, Hellboy 2. You know, the Blade, on and on and on. Mimic, this guy has a great resume. So you just can't go wrong with him, in my opinion. All right, but then the final guy that I'm going to get to, and this might be one that maybe would surprise people, but I think this guy would do an amazing job if given the opportunity. And that's the one and only David Leech. All right, David Leech. People are like, who's David Leech? Who's David Leech? Okay, you know him as the guy that kind of came up with and crafted the John Wick story. Okay, this guy is the guy behind John Wick. He directed Deadpool 2 and Atomic Blonde. All right, this guy has a long list of great credits. He also just directed Bullet Train. If you saw Bullet Train, hey, that's one of my top 5 films so far of the year. Okay, I think it's an amazing film. A lot of people don't like it. It's underrated. I think it's incredible. I think this guy is a talent beyond words, and he's got a couple of films in the hopper that are going to be interesting, for at least for me. If he was given Superman, how would he do it? Okay, what would he do with it? We know one thing for sure: it would be absolutely action packed. Okay, it would be an amazing action packed film. Let's go ahead and check out his IMDb. Yep, so here we go. David Leech, all right, $1 billion film director, actor, stuntman, on and on and on. This guy is great. Here's his director credits right here. John Wick. It was the uncredited John Wick. He did the work, but I think Chad Stahelski got the credit. But nevertheless, you're talking about Atomic Blonde. You're talking about Deadpool 2. He did Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, and then he just did Bullet Train. He has Fall Guy coming up. I'm a Fall Guy fan from back in the 80s. I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with Farrah. Oh, I love that show, man. That was my jam, okay? So he's going to be doing that show. Will he have an opportunity to, it seems like he's a busy guy, right? He's got a little mini series coming up here next. Will he get the opportunity to direct the Superman? Will he even be available for something like that? I don't know. But, again, that's just my wish list. These 5 guys right here. Let's go through them again. Chris McCrory, Mike Flanagan, Matt Vaughn, Guillermo Del Toro, and David Leech. What does your list look like for your wish list of top 5 directors that should get an opportunity to direct Superman? Go ahead, give me your thoughts and your opinions in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.